Get out, you don't belong here. Nathan Harper's voice cuts through Rise and Grind Coffee, Portland's warmest coffee shop, as he glares at a black woman in a hoodie. The shop stills, mugs frozen mid-sip as he sneers. We serve a select crowd, and you're not it. Older patrons flinch, the sting of injustice sharp. This isn't mere rudeness, it's a grave misstep. The woman he's shaming holds a secret that will unravel his arrogance. Stay tuned for a clash where prejudice meets its reckoning, proving no one escapes the scalding truth of accountability. In Portland, where mist kisses the cobblestones, Rise and Grind Coffee glows like a hearth in the Pearl District's vibrant heart. Its reclaimed wood walls, adorned with local art, cradle a symphony of voice tech pioneers, poets, rhetorists each drawn to the promise of $8 cold brews. Indie folk melodies weave through the air, mingling with the rich aroma of hand-roasted beans, each a whisper from distant fields. This coffee shop, with its ceramic mugs and eclectic charm, is more than a place to pause. It's a sanctuary where souls converge, yet beneath its inviting warmth, a shadow looms. Bitter as an oversteeped brew, Angela Dempsey steps from her weathered Nissan Altima into the evening drizzle, her hoodie and sneakers cloaking her stature as CEO of Apex Brew Company, a 250 million empire spanning 20 shops across 6 states. Once a barista in Atlanta's shadowed streets, Angela toiled through endless nights, perfecting roasts, dreaming of a haven where coffee binds all. Rise and Grind, her flagship, opened 12 years ago to embody that vision, a refuge where every heart, humble or grand, feels cherished. But now, her spirit sways with unease, as if the shop's essence has dimmed. For 4 months, murmurs of discord have haunted her rest. Yelp reviews, jagged as thorns, speak of black patrons skipped in line, rushed through orders, or barred from events with hollow excuses, while white guests bask in warm greetings. The betrayal wounds her deeply, a fracture in the dreams she nurtured. Tonight, she wears no badge of wealth, choosing instead the garb of an everyday soul. Her purpose is resolute: to enter her own doors, unseen, and sip the truth of her legacy. Will her vision endure, or has bias soured the blend? As Angela nears, the shop's light spills onto the sidewalk, a beacon of solace. Inside, students hunch over laptops. An artist traces lines in a sketchbook, and older couples share soft chuckles. The clink of mugs blends with the steam of espresso, a chorus of connection. Yet, Angela's heart races. She recalls the opening night, when critics crowned Rise and Grind Portland's Sula place, where coffee was artistry, not mere trade. That evening, she pledged to serve all with equal honor. Now, at the glass door, she questions if that oath holds true. Welcome. A barista's voice once greeted every guest, but Angela braces for a colder reception. Her neatly braided hair and quiet stride betray no hint of her power. She is simply a woman seeking a brew, a moment, a test. Her journey's weight bears down from Atlanta's trials to boardrooms, where she carved respect. Each step toward the counter is a venture into vulnerability, a wager that her life's work remains pure. The drizzle pats her shoulders, urging her onward, as if the city itself seeks answers. Angela absorbs the scene, her heart swelling with pride, yet pierced by dread. These walls, crafted to echo equality, may conceal a harsher truth. The reviews echo in her mind. They ignored my order. They claimed the slam was booked, but others entered. Each grievance a splinter in her dream's frame. Why must I prove my place in my own haven? Angela muses, her thoughts a mournful refrain. She built this shop to dissolve division, a hearth where coffee's warmth unites. Portland, with its zeal for craft and kinship, embraced her vision. From its artisanal pulse to the Pearl District's eclectic beat, coffee here is culture, not just a sip. But culture, Angela knows, can curdle untended. Her empire flourished, but her travel sourcing beans in Ethiopia, sealing deals in Chicago left her absent. Did she leave her dream exposed, ripe for bias to take root? As she approaches the counter, Angela's resolve firms, like beans ground for a flawless shot. Struggle is her old companion. Raised where hope was scarce, she learned dignity through grit. Her first job, serving coffee at 17, taught her the magic of service and the alchemy of beans. Those truths shaped Rise and Grind, a place to pour respect into every mug. Tonight, she seeks not just clarity but accountability. If her shop has faltered, she will guide it back, whatever the price. The door swings open, and Angela steps inside. The bells chime a soft prelude to the storm ahead. Baristas move with practiced ease, but their eyes, she senses, will weigh her before they serve. Her dream, once a radiant mosaic, teeters on a thread. Will Rise and Grind honor its pledge, or betray the woman who gave it breath? The answer awaits, in the words and deeds beyond the counter. For now, Angela advances, a silent sentinel, poised to reclaim her vision. Before diving into the story, please clearly state your city or country of residence in the comments section. Your feedback is the driving force for our development. Best wishes, from Asia. The chime of Rise and Grind Coffee's bell fades as Angela Dempsey crosses the threshold, her heart heavy with the echo of troubling Yelp reviews. The shop's warm glow, a promise of refuge, feels fragile against the weight of her mission. The scent of roasted beans swirls around her, a fleeting comfort, but the counter ahead looms like a crucible. The dream she poured into this placedo unite all, in a shared sip now teeters on the edge of betrayal. Will the warmth she crafted endure, or will bias curdle the brew she holds dear? The shop pulses with life. Jada, a college poet, scribbles verses in her journal, her pen a quiet rebellion. An elderly couple sips cold brews, their murmurs soft beneath the indie folk strumming overhead. Angela approaches the counter, her hoodie unassuming, her steps measured yet resolute. Behind the espresso machine stands Claire Monroe, her apron pristine, her smile radiant for the white hipster before Angela, a graphic designer, chuckling as he grabs his cold brew. But as Angela steps up, that smile withers, replaced by a cold, dismissive glance. "Good evening," Angela says, her voice calm, deliberate. "I'd like a cold brew, please." Claire's eyes skim Angela's sneakers, her mouth tightening as if the request offends. "Sorry, ma'am, the batch is spoiled," she says, her tone clipped, her gaze already shifting to the next patron. Angela's breath catches, her resolve tested. Just moments ago, she saw Claire pour a cold brew for the hipster. "That's strange," she replies, her voice steady. "It was fine a minute ago. Could you check again?" Claire's sigh cuts the air, sharp as a blade. "It's spoiled, okay? Try something else." Her words strike, blunt and final. A dismissal that chills the shop's warmth. Around them, the rhythm stutters. Jada looks up, her eyes narrowing, sensing the injustice. An older patron, stirring cream into his coffee, shifts uneasily, his gaze flickering between Angela and Claire. The air grows taut, as if the coffee's aroma has soured, a metaphor for the prejudice seeping into the moment. "I also reserved a spot for the 6 p.m. poetry slam," Angela adds, granting Claire a chance to retract. Under Dempsey, Claire's fingers graze her tablet, her expression one of thinly veiled scorn. "No Dempsey listed," she says, barely glancing at the screen. "Sure you got the right place? There's a bar on Burnside that might be more your fit." The jab lands, a calculated wound echoing the reviews Angela fears. Black patrons sidelined, redirected, erased. "Bar?" Angela echoes, her voice low, offering one final opportunity. "I'm here for coffee, not a bar." Claire shrugs, her auburn hair swaying, just saying, "It's probably more your style." The words linger, toxic as stale grounds, poisoning the shop's sanctuary. Jada's pen halts, her gaze fierce with solidarity. The elderly couple exchanges a troubled look, their silence heavy. Patrons, sensing the rift, turn to watch, some reaching for phones, capturing the drama's bitter unfold. Angela stands firm, her calm a fortress built from years of facing slights. She recalls her first days in Atlanta, serving coffee amidst sneers, each one forging her patience, her strength. This shop, her life's labor, was meant to rewrite that Talia haven where every mug brims with equality. Yet here, in her own refuge, she's reduced to a stereotype, judged by appearance, not essence. The irony sears, a flame fed by every review that warned of this betrayal. Behind the counter, Maya, a seasoned barista, watches. Her hands stilled mid-pour, her eyes flicker with recognition she was there when this shop bloomed. When Angela poured the first brew, her vision radiant. Now, torn between loyalty and fear, Maya hesitates. Her silence a burden Angela senses but leaves unspoken. The stage is set, the tension simmering, and Claire's careless words have sparked a blaze. What follows will test not just her, but the heart of Rise and Grind itself. Hey, that was heavy. Are you drinking enough water to keep your spirit strong? Aim for 2 liters daylets, stay grounded. As this story brews on, the spark ignited by Claire's dismissive words now flares, threatening to consume the heart of Rise and Grind coffee. Angela Dempsey stands at the counter, her composure a quiet fortress against the sting of Claire's suggestion to try the bar on Burnside. The shop's patrons, poets, retirees, dreamers swatch, their breaths held, as the warmth of coffee turns bitter with prejudice. The indie folk melody fades, a fragile note drowned by the swelling tension. As Angela holds her ground, a new presence looms, ready to fan the flames, blind to the reckoning that awaits. Nathan Harper, the shop's manager, strides in, his pressed blazer and polished loafers proclaiming authority. His dark hair gleams under the pendant lights, and his smug grin betrays a man who thrives on control. "What's the issue here?" he demands, his voice smooth, yet laced with impatience, positioning himself beside Claire, as if guarding her from an unwelcome guest. Claire, bolstered, points to Angela. She's demanding a cold brew, but the batch is bad, and she claims a poetry slam reservation, but there's no record. Angela meets Nathan's gaze, her voice even, resolute. "The batch was fine for the customer before me, and I confirmed that reservation 3 days ago." Nathan's eyes rake over Angela's hoodie and sneakers, his expression curdling with disdain. "Ma'am, we uphold a certain standard here," he says, his tone dripping with condescension. "Our patrons value a specific atmosphere. If you want a quick drink, there's a Dunkin' a few blocks away." The words cut, a deliberate slash through the shop's facade of welcome. The air grows dense, heavy with unspoken judgment. Jada, the poet, sets her journal down, her eyes alight with recognition of the wrong unfolding. An elderly couple, their cold brews untouched, exchange uneasy glances, their silence a mirror to the discomfort rippling through the room. Angela, unshaken, gestures to a white patron in flip-flops, sipping a cold brew at a nearby table. "That woman's dressed more casually than I am," she says, her voice calm but piercing. "Why was she served without question?" Nathan's face reddens, a crack in his polished veneer. "She's a regular," he retorts, stepping closer to Angela. "A valued guest. You, ma'am, are not. And you're making our patrons uncomfortable." The lie hangs, a flimsy veil for his bias. Jada's jaw clenches, and a young barista, clearing tables, pauses, her rags still, eyes fixed on the confrontation. The shop, once a sanctuary, now feels like a courtroom, its light exposing the raw wound of prejudice. "Uncomfortable?" Angela echoes, her voice low, a gathering storm. "I'm here for a coffee like anyone else. How am I causing discomfort?" Nathan's grin returns, brittle, masking unease. "I'm trying to be courteous," he says, his voice rising, ensuring all hear. "But you don't belong here. This isn't your place. Leave now, or I'll call security." The words erupt, a verbal banishment that stills the shop. The espresso machine's hum fades, the folk music a distant whisper, as every gaze locks onto Angela. Claire, emboldened by Nathan's stance, grabs her phone, murmuring urgently, "Security. We've got someone causing a disturbance, refusing to leave." Her words, though soft, pierce, a calculated humiliation. Angela feels the weight of every stare, the assumptions that strip her to a stereotype. Yet, her strength, forged through years of overcoming slights, stands firm. She recalls her early days in Atlanta, facing scorn from those who doubted her worth. This shop, her life's work, was meant to rewrite that narrative, to pour dignity into every mug. Now, it wounds her. Disturbance? Angela says, her voice slicing through the tension like a knife through crema. I'm a patron, seeking service. You might want to reconsider who you're addressing. The warning, delivered with steely precision, sends a shiver through the room. Jada nods subtly, her solidarity a quiet anchor. The elderly couple shifts, their unease now aimed at Nathan, whose face hardens. Don't play games, he hisses, stepping closer, his finger jabbing the air. Get out now, or I'll ensure you're dragged out. The threat lands like a lightning strike, and the shop holds its breath. Patrons pull out phones, filming the injustice, their screens capturing the drama's raw edge. Maya, the veteran barista, stands frozen behind the counter, her hands trembling as she grips a milk pitcher. She knows Angela, recalls her warmth at the shop's opening, but fear of Nathan's power keeps her mute. The tension is a living force, a tempest, ready to break. Nathan, blind to the truth, believes he holds the reins. Unaware his words have sparked a fire that will burn his career to ash. Angela stands tall, her calm a lighthouse in the storm. The reviews that plagued her tales of black patrons dismissed, ignored now unfold before her, a painful truth confirmed. Yet she knows this moment is greater than her pain. It's a chance to reclaim her dream. The shop, meant to be a haven, has become a battlefield, and Angela is prepared to fight not with fury, but with the unyielding power of truth. As Nathan's threat reverberates, a new sound rises. The sharp click of heels, heralding a force that will shatter the illusion of his control. The tempest in rise and grind coffee roars. Nathan's venomous command, get out or you'll be dragged out, still searing the air like over-roasted beans. Angela Dempsey stands resolute, her calm a beacon amidst the chaos, as patrons clutch their phones, capturing the raw injustice. Claire's hushed call to security weaves a thread of calculated humiliation, while Maya, the veteran barista, trembles, her loyalty to Angela stifled by fear. The shop, its indie folk tunes a faint whisper, teeters on the brink of revelation. Then, a sharp click of heels shatters the tension, heralding a truth that will grind Nathan's arrogance to dust. Elise Warner storms through the glass door, her tailored coat a mantle of authority, her presence a lightning bolt. Her eyes, keen as a barista's pour, fix on Nathan, who falters mid-rant. Cease this at once, she declares, her voice a blade slicing through the haze. You're denying service to Angela Dempsey, your boss, the owner of this shop and CEO of Apex Brew Company. The words strike like a double shot of espresso, jolting the shop into silence. Nathan's face bleaches, his smug grin collapsing into shock. Claire's tablet slips, crashing to the wood floor, a thunderclap in the stillness. Patrons gasp, their murmurs rising like steam from a fresh brew. Jada, the poet, leans forward, her eyes blazing with vindication. The elderly couple, their cold brews forgotten, stare, jaws slack, as the truth dawns. Elise, unyielding, brandishes her tablet, her fingers swift. Angela Dempsey, she reads, her tone clear, commanding. Founder of a $250 million empire, owner of 20 coffee shops across 6 states, the woman who hired you, Nathan, via Skype while sourcing beans in Ethiopia. Each syllable is a hammer, shattering Nathan's hubris into fragments. Nathan stammers, his voice a broken grind. That's not possible, Miss Dempsey. She sounded different on the calls. The confession hangs, a raw admission of his prejudice. Angela steps forward, her gaze unwavering, her voice a quiet dagger. Different? What did I sound like, Nathan? The question, soft yet scalding, pins him to the wall. The shop is a crypt, every ear straining, every heart pounding. Nathan's mouth opens, closes, a fish floundering, his biases exposed for all to witness. A memory flickers in Angela's mind, anchoring the moment. When Nathan was hired, Angela was in Ethiopia's lush highlands, negotiating with farmers. Their exchanges, brief Skype calls centered on revenue and logistics, never showed her face, only her voice. Nathan, veiled by his own assumptions, imagined that voice belonged to someone who fit his narrow mold of power. Now, that illusion crumbles. A sandcastle swept by a tidal wave. Maya, the barista, breaks her silence, her voice quivering yet firm. "Miss Dempsey, I knew it was you." Her eyes, brimming with remorse, meet Angela's. "I should have spoken up, but I was afraid." Angela nods, her expression softening, a trace of the warmth Maya recalls from the shop's opening. "Maya," she says gently, "you're here now. That counts." Maya's words, raw and earnest, shift the room's pulse. A spark of hope amidst the wreckage. Jada's pen races across her journal, weaving the moment into poetry, her solidarity a silent hymn. Patrons, their phones still filming, edge closer, sensing a historic shift. The elderly couple whispers, their unease now a shared resolve to see justice unfold. Elise, her tablet still active, types a message, her efficiency a vow of accountability. The shop, once a crucible of bias, now hosts a drama where truth pours freely, scalding those who dared to judge. Nathan's shoulders sag, his authority evaporating like mist. Claire, tears streaking her cheeks, grips the counter, her defiance gone. "I didn't know," she whispers, her voice fracturing. "I swear, I didn't know." Angela's gaze, firm but not vengeful, holds her. "This isn't just about me," she says, her words a mirror. "It's about every patron you've dismissed, thinking they didn't matter." The truth, stark and unyielding, silences Claire, a lesson carved into the shop's very beams. The moment crackles, a pivot where power shifts, where arrogance meets its downfall. Angela stands taller, not as a victim, but as a visionary, reclaiming her dream. The shop, her haven, has been tainted, but this is her chance to purify it. Patrons, baristas, the very air they await her next step, sensing this is no mere clash. Justice, like a meticulously crafted brew, is poised to be served, its flavor lingering long after the mugs are cleared. Hey, what a jolt! Are you getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep to face life's twists? Rest well at sea how Angela pours justice next. The truth, like a perfectly crafted cold brew, has flooded rise and grind coffee, washing away the bitter dregs of prejudice. Elise's revelation that Angela Dempsey is the shop's owner and CEO sounds like a thunderclap, silencing Nathan's arrogance and Claire's excuses. The shop, once a crucible of bias, now thrums with the pulse of accountability. Patrons, their phones capturing the drama, lean in, sensing justice brewing. Maya's confession of silence lingers, a fragile step toward redemption, while Jada's fierce gaze radiates solidarity. Angela stands at the heart of the storm, ready to pour justice into her wounded dream, reshaping its essence with every word. "Nathan," Angela begins, her voice steady, resonant, cutting through the stillness like a knife through foam. "Your actions have poisoned this shop's soul. You're fired, effective immediately." The words strike with the weight of a judge's gavel, echoing off the reclaimed wood walls. Nathan's face collapses, his blazer no shield against the verdict. "Miss Dempsey, please," he stammers, his voice a desperate grind. "It was a mistake. I didn't know it was you." Angela's gaze is unyielding, a beacon of resolve. "That's the issue, Nathan. Respect isn't reserved for those you deem worthy, it's owed to every soul who walks through these doors." Oh, the shop exhales, a collective sigh of release. Jada claps softly, her poet's spirit stirred by the reckoning. The elderly couple nods, their unease replaced by approval, their hands clasped in quiet support. Patrons, still filming, whisper, their screens broadcasting the moment beyond the shop's walls. Angela turns to Claire, her tears flowing, her bravado shattered. "Claire," she says, her tone firm yet measured, "your behavior wasn't just unprofessional, it was discriminatory. You're fired as well." Claire's sob breaks free, raw, jagged. "I need this job," she pleads, her voice fracturing. "I didn't mean what?" Angela cuts in, her words a mirror to Claire's soul. "To judge me by my appearance? To dismiss patrons who don't fit your mold of who belongs?" Claire falls silent, her guilt a heavy brew she cannot swallow. The weight of her actions, reflected in Angela's unwavering eyes, presses down, a lesson etched in her heart. The shop's air, thick with emotion, hums with the power of accountability, as potent as the coffee that defines this haven. Angela turns to Maya, whose trembling hands still clutch the milk pitcher. "Maya," she says softly, her kindness a soothing balm. "Fear held you back, and I understand. But silence in the face of wrong is a choice. Speak up next time, and you'll have my full protection." Maya's eyes glisten, her nod fervent. "I will, Miss Dempsey, I swear." Her words, though quiet, carry the strength of renewed purpose, a spark that rekindles the shop's fading warmth. Angela's promise, a vow of safety, sows a seed for a culture where truth can thrive. Stepping forward, Angela addresses the patrons, her voice rising, clear, a call to bear witness. "Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the shadow cast on your evening. This shop was built to be a sanctuary, a place where every mug pours equality, where every heart is valued. What you've seen is a betrayal of that vision, but also a chance to rebuild." Her words, like beans ground for a flawless shot, stir the room. Jada's pen dances across her journal, weaving Angela's resolve into verse. The elderly couple applauds, their claps joined by others, a chorus drowning the faint indie folk strains. "This isn't just about tonight," Angela continues, her voice a steady cadence. "It's about every patron who's been ignored, rushed, or judged for how they look. That ends now. This shop will serve all with dignity, or it will not serve at all." The declaration, bold as a dark roast, resonates, a covenant carved into the shop's foundation. Patrons cheer, their phones rolling, spreading Angela's stand to the world. A young barista, wiping tables, brushes away tears, moved by the promise of renewal. Elise, her tablet a tool of action, types swiftly, alerting Apex Brew's legal team and board. Her efficiency, a silent pledge of corporate reckoning, hums in the background. Angela glances at her, a nod of gratitude, then back to the crowd. "You've seen prejudice fester," she says, her tone softening, reflective. "But you'll also see what happens when we choose better. This is my shop, my dream, and I will fight for it." The words, a poet's rhythm, inspire Jada to stand, her applause a flame that lights the room. The shop transforms, its air no longer heavy with bias but alive with hope. Nathan, head bowed, gathers his belongings, his career scalded by his actions. Claire, still sobbing, follows, her lesson a bitter brew she'll carry forward. Angela, though weary, feels her burden lift, replaced by determination. This moment, born of pain, is a crucible for change, a chance to pour her vision anew. As patrons settle, their murmurs hopeful, Angela knows the true work begins to ensure no one else tastes the humiliation she endured. The storm of justice has swept through rise and grind coffee, leaving a quiet resolve in its wake. Angela Dempsey's stand has purged the shop of Nathan and Claire's prejudice, their departures marked by the echo of patrons' applause. Jada's poetry captures the moment's fire, while Maya's pledge to speak up kindles hope. The shop, its warmth restored, stands as a testament to Angela's vision, ready to be remade. As the lights soften, Angela gathers her team, poised to grind a new culture from the ashes, one where every mug brims with dignity. That evening, Angela assembles the staff. Their faces a tapestry of shock, guilt, and determination. "Tonight, we lost our way," she says, her voice warm, steady, like a perfectly steamed cappuccino. "But loss is a lesson. We'll learn, and we'll rise." She unveils sweeping reforms, unconscious bias training for all, protocols ensuring equal service, and a zero-tolerance policy for discrimination. No patron will be judged by appearance, she declares, her words a covenant woven into the air. The staff nods, their commitment sparking like grounds in a press. A barista, voice tentative, raises a hand. What if customers object to serving certain folks? Angela's gaze is unwavering, fierce as a dark roast. Bigots get no brew here. Let them steep their hate elsewhere. The reply, bold and unyielding, draws gasps of approval. Maya, newly promoted to assistant manager, steps forward, her voice clear. We'll honor this, Miss Dempsey. Every cup, every smile for all. Her vow, a flame of loyalty, illuminates the room, promising a shop reborn. Elise, coordinating with regional leaders, ensures the reforms take root. Her precision a quiet pillar of strength. Angela, though drained, feels hope surge, like steam rising from a fresh pour. This is our moment, she tells the team, her tone soft, reflective, to craft a haven where every soul is cherished, where coffee binds us as kin. Her words, a poet's dream, unite them, a new roast of purpose brewing in their hearts. A young barista, eyes bright, nods fiercely, inspired to serve with pride. Angela pauses, her thoughts drifting to her mother, a waitress who taught her the grace of service despite scorn. That lesson, etched in her soul, fuels this rebirth. She envisions a shop where Jada's poetry slams draw diverse crowds, where the elderly couple sips in peace, where no one feels the sting of exclusion. The staff, sensing her vision, leans in, their silence a pledge to rebuild. Maya, her hands steady now, meets Angela's gaze, a silent promise to lead with courage. The shop's air, once heavy with bias, now hums with possibility. Angela knows the road ahead demands vigilance training sessions, new hires, constant feedback to keep prejudice at bay. Yet, the team's resolve, like a well-timed espresso shot, invigorates her. We'll be a beacon, she says, her voice rising. A call to action. Not just a coffee shop, but a community where respect is the richest blend. The staff erupts in quiet cheers, their unity a foundation for change. As the meeting ends, Angela lingers, her fingers tracing the counter where she once poured the shop's first brew. The pain of tonight's betrayal lingers, but so does the promise of renewal. This shop, her life's work, will rise stronger, its warmth a testament to resilience. The staff disperses, their steps purposeful, ready to grind a new dawn. Angela knows this is but the first step, a chance to ensure every patron feels the embrace she dreamed of long ago. Hey, transformation's brewing. Are you eating balanced meals to fuel your own renewal? Grab one today. Let's keep this story's warmth flowing. The roots of renewal, firmly planted in the fertile ground of rise and grind coffee, have blossomed, nourished by Angela Dempsey's steadfast vision. The staff, ignited by her reforms, brews a new culture where Maya's leadership and Elise's guidance ensure every mug holds dignity. Jada's poetry slams pulse with promise, and the shop's warmth, once dimmed by bias, now glows as a haven for all. As the evening's resolve settles, the shop's light endures, a beacon for a world free of prejudice. 8 months later, this transformation shines, a testament to justice's enduring power. The shop thrives, its wood walls resonating with laughter, verse, and the hum of espresso. A vibrant mosaic of patrons, artists, techies, elders fills the space, their voices blending like a masterful roast. Jada's weekly poetry slams packed the house, her words weaving tales of resilience that echo Angela's stand. The chalkboard menu, once a silent witness to injustice, now bears a new creed. Coffee for all, poured with dignity. Its message, simple yet profound, welcomes every guest, a daily oath of equality. This rebirth ripples far beyond the shop's doors. Media, from local zines to national outlets, hail Angela's changes. Lifting sales by 30%, coffee chains across the country adopt her model bias training. equal service rules seeking to mirror her success. Angela, now a sought-after speaker at coffee expos, shares her story, her voice a clarion call. "A shop is more than coffee," she tells rapt crowds. "It's a promise to honor every heart with respect." Her words, like beans pressed true, spark a movement. Within, the staff radiates pride, their diversity reflecting the patrons they serve. Maya, as assistant manager, leads with quiet strength, ensuring no guest feels the sting of exclusion. Feedback boards, a new staple, capture patrons' voices, nipping discord before it brews. The shop's culture, once tainted, now thrums with joy. A bold blend where dignity is the deepest note. Guests linger, drawn to a space that feels like kin, a hearth of belonging. Nathan and Claire, their careers scorched, have left the industry, their tale a warning in barista workshops. But for Angela, this is no story of vengeance, it's one of redemption. The shop, her dream, stands taller, its light a guide for all seeking refuge. From pain, a legacy pours, proving that justice, when served with purpose, transforms not just a shop, but a world. The legacy of rise and grind coffee now radiates, a beacon of equality, where every mug overflows with respect. Angela Dempsey's stand, forged in the crucible of prejudice, has transformed a shop into a movement, its light stretching far beyond its wooden walls. Jada's poetry slams breathe life, Maya's leadership anchors the helm, and patrons of every stripe find solace in a space reborn. The creed, coffee for all, poured with dignity, stands as a vow, a reminder that justice, when brewed with purpose, reshapes the world. From this victory, a deeper call emerges, urging us all to reflect and rise. Angela's Odyssey, from the sharp sting of rejection to the triumph of renewal, is a testament to resilience. The humiliation she endured, a bitter blend of bias, could have shattered a lesser spirit. Yet, like a master barista, she turned pain into purpose, crafting a legacy that warms hearts like a flawless cappuccino. Her story teaches us that prejudice, though a heavy weight, can be lifted when we stand unwavering. It's a summons to confront injustice boldly, to stir the grounds of change, even when the world brews resistance. What wisdom lingers in this tale? First, silence is no friend. When bias festers, speaking out, like Maya's newfound courage, ignites transformation. Second, leadership is duty, not dominion. Angela didn't merely own a shop. She owned the responsibility to make it right, a mantle we can all don. Third, respect is the boldest roast, poured not for a select few but for every soul who crosses our path. Finally, hard moments, like over-extracted beans, can yield the richest flavors if we press forward with grit. This narrative, though born in one shop, ripples through our lives. In your own corner scafes, offices, neighborhood, shave you glimpsed bias brewing? A cold glance, a curt word, a door shut on someone deemed unfit? Angela's resolve challenges us to act not with rage, but with the steady strength of truth. Share this story. Let it spark dialogues. Let it pour light into shadows. Champion places that embrace all, where every sip, every smile is offered freely, no questions asked. As we part, let's carry Angela's dream forward. Pause to ponder your spaces, your communities, your daily haunts. Where can you brew change? Where can you pour dignity? Share this tale with kin, on social platforms, in quiet chats, over coffee. Let it kindle a movement, a ripple swelling into a tide. Have you faced injustice? Voice your truth in the comments. Inspire others to rise. Together, we can forge a world where every heart finds a haven, where equality is the deepest, richest brew of all.